It's your favorite Tommy Pickles impersonator. Hello, my sweet chocolate dipped orange slices. I have to start this video that way. That's the way Kiki starts her videos, is by just giving the audience some kind of off-the-cuff pet name, and it's different every video. What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today, I am very excited to be finally doing a dedicated video sharing with you guys the contents of this baby right here. So this is the Salt New York palette. It is a magnetic palette that my girl, Kiki G, a creator here on YouTube, but first and foremost, a makeup artist for TV and film for the last 10 years, has created. This baby right here is not new necessarily. It is her original magnetic palette. I didn't really have a magnetic palette in my life. I wanted one. This happens to be very much my aesthetic, if you can't tell. But the new and exciting thing, if you aren't, completely caught up in my videos, are these. These are the Creme Tint Pro, and they are her new makeup creams that she came out with to go in her palette. As you can see, 8 of them comfortably fit in the palette. It pretty much can't go past that, and then leaves a little bit of room to kind of get them in and out, as well as eyeshadows and things like that if you want to include those. This happens to be my palette of choice here, but she did send me, well, she didn't send me, she brought to my house. Kiki came to my house and she brought me a bag, I'll just show you, of all of them. I have a brush in here too. Literally all of them. They are in recycled packaging. The products are zero waste. They're just in these really great little, aluminum pans. And they come in a menagerie of colors. There are 6 of each shade type, I guess you could say. So there's the skin tone range, it's what I call it. There is a kind of highlighter range. That all of these are very versatile in the way that you want to use them, but that's kind of the best way for me to understand them. And then there's like the blush range, right? Which is just all of the multi-use pinker kind of pigments that you would use on your cheeks or your lips, what have you. So I have tried all of them, but if you are interested in seeing all of the products swatched, I will link her video below that gives you a tour of the entire palette, based on this release. And I'm going to be putting all of my favorites on my face, and I'm also going to swatch all of the blushes for you guys, because if you're not sure where you are, like if there was a map, a mall map that was like, you are here, you are in Blushville, okay? This is what my channel is about. We love blushes. I've never met one I didn't like, and so I'm gonna try and put as many of them on my face as I can today. But I do already have my base on. I am wearing the GRWM foundation. That's all I have on my face right now besides skincare. So starting from basic scratch, but honestly, such a lovely canvas. I love this foundation so much. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and move you guys in. We're going to put this makeup on my face so you can kind of see how the ones that I really, really like in this collection perform on my face, and we can talk about kind of how to navigate if you're thinking about ordering and you don't really know where to start. What's better, being able to see my forehead or being able to see my neck? I don't know. So here we have, and if you ever forget the names of them, they are printed on the back of the pan, but I'm gonna do the best that I can here. So this is wine, raspberry, rose, and coral. I wasn't holding them up. Wine, raspberry, rose, and coral. And then this is the contour shade, which, if you're unfamiliar thus far, is a miraculous little product. This is light medium in the kind of skin tone matte products. And when I say matte, I mean they don't have shimmer in them, not that they go on the skin a little bit dewy. And then this is beige and warm tan in the highlighter tones. So there are, like I said, 6 of each one. They're $16 a piece if you buy them individually. I highly recommend bundling. It is far more cost effective. So she has discounts for bundling different amounts of them and bundling different amounts of them with the palette itself. For me, the first thing to kind of note about these, especially if you are as fair toned as I am, is that these are not necessarily what I would consider base shades for me. So I went ahead and did my foundation. Like I said, I don't want to misrepresent this and say these are foundations and concealers. To me, they're not. They might be for other skin tones, for deeper skin tones. They're probably going to do a good job of like camouflaging and things like that. Kiki is incredibly inclusive, like incredibly inclusive. Like she has an entire video talking about like whether or not you can consider yourself a makeup artist. and what that has to do with your ability and competence to do makeup on any skin tone and any skin age and any skin type and things like that. She really gives a damn, and it comes through in this makeup. So when I say that this isn't like a concealer shade for me, it just means that there's not like a porcelain white shade in this. The fairest of all of them is still kind of a little bit tan for me. However, having tried all of them, this light medium shade is an absolutely gorgeous bronzer on me. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here is dip into this contour shade. I wanna show this to you guys against the bronzer. It's just a valuable thing to point out because I was definitely in the dark about the difference between a contour and a bronzer for a long time. To me, I didn't have any contour in my collection. I always thought that just a cool tone bronzer would be fine. Nothing in the bronzer category is as cool toned as that, not so far that I have found, and it just works differently. I'm going to show you. I'm going to be going in with a sponge today. It's just how I prefer. That's how I've always applied cream products on top of an unpowdered foundation look. So I'm just kind of twisting that in the product here. Oh, this also has a mirror in it, so that's super helpful. And I'm just gonna start applying that to where I want to make some more shadow. What you'll notice as I do this is that there's no tan here. It just all of a sudden looks like there's an actual shadow there. Like the light has caught me in a more flattering way that accentuates my cheekbones. How about that? So I will put that, you know, pretty much everywhere. That I always say, if you back away from a hard light in your bathroom or something, anywhere where you have a mirror, and you start to kind of cast shadows on your face, you'll see where you can accentuate with contour, and you can just play into all of those. I'm not trying to change the shape of my face or distort it in any way here. I am just kind of playing to what I already have, but I will say that this is just pigmented enough that it is so forgiving. It really does the work for you. It goes on so skin finish, and it does not get greasy on your face. And it is so light. It is so lightweight, especially after trying the RMS last week. Like, this is so lightweight on your face, you don't even know that it's there. It wears weightlessly. And I'm gonna even use that. I'm gonna get brave here and like contour places that I wouldn't even necessarily contour typically, because when it's bronzer, you can tell. But when it's an actual contour shade, you can actually trick the eye. Because my nose, I mean, I love my nose. I have no problem with my nose, but it does have more of a bump on this side than on that side. I'm sorry if you can never unsee that now. But, you know, just kind of being able to go in and camouflage that just a little bit so that, you know, I don't have a bad side. I don't know. It's cool to have options, I guess, right? I don't know. It'll make more sense when I get more makeup on. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm not an expert. That's one thing about Kiki's channel. If you guys don't know my history with Kiki, here it is. I have been a fan for so long, and she literally gets credit from me for being the person who introduced me to the idea of dewy makeup. If you watched my videos like way back in the day, I was doing YouTube makeup. You know, I was trying to bake my under eyes. I was trying to just shellac myself all the way down, mattify everything to death, and then just rebuild it from scratch. And I was never happy with it, ever. I would always get done filming a video and have my lashes on and have this like crazy full coverage look on, trying to be Tati, trying to be Jaclyn Hill, trying to be whoever. And I would wash my face because I was like, this looks bizarre in person. Like, it looks okay on camera under all the lights, but it looks crazy in person. And so I watched her channel. I don't even remember what video I found her on, but I think it was something about like wanting to find someone who was in Austin, because she did live in Austin until very, very recently. And I just was fascinated, I don't know, to see if there were any creators in my area, I guess. And so I found her channel, and as soon as I started watching, I watched her not powder her foundation, and I was like, quoi? We did what now? And so, I'm just contouring forever right now because this stuff is just a pleasure. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on from the contour. But look at that! Look at how easy that is, and like, I just look better. I don't want to say it like that, but I want to say it like my face, not so much my makeup. Like, my face looks better now, so. I'm gonna take my same sponge and I'm gonna dip that into the light medium bronzer. I can confuse any words. Anyway, bronzer, which isn't necessarily, it is subjectively a bronzer. It's a bronzer for my skin tone. Understand that it, could be anything else for anyone else. And I'm gonna actually just use that to add some, some color to my face, as if the sun hath blessed me, which she often does not. She tends to bless me with melasma. So anyway, when I first started watching Kiki, she had acne. Or she had acne at the time. She has this whole video where she covers her face in yogurt, and that was like part of how she cured her acne, was with like probiotics and yogurt. I was like, you are my hero. She started going and doing makeup professionally right out of high school, which is like what I did with hair. And so, she's just got a lot more years in the biz than most people her age. And it really, really comes through in her videos, just the way that she can say something with conviction, because she's practiced it on so many different faces. And it's just the advantage of, and honestly, this is not meant to be a shade on anybody because I'm not a professional makeup artist, but you can just tell the difference in experience between a makeup artist who's actually worked as a makeup artist for 10 years versus someone who has been a YouTube makeup artist for 10 years, and only worked on their own face. And I just think that like that distinction comes through in her makeup without casting any aspersions on any individuals in particular. It just comes through. So I'm not even belaboring this. I'm just taking a long time because I'm running my mouth and because I want to, but this is the ultimate minimalist face of makeup. I really have foundation and then 2 shades of cream on my face right now. And it's actually a dream for me because, well, yes, I went to cosmetology school when I was 17, but I also went to art school. 4 years of art school. And so I think of makeup from the standpoint of paint anyway. And so having a palette of paints to paint on my face with is kind of a dream come true. So we're now going to move on to blush because it really is that fast and easy, and now we're all ready to blush. So the one that I end up wearing the most is Rose right here, but you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong here, y'all. And she also says, we'll talk about it more when we get into the highlights, but the highlight shades, you can wear them on your eyes, but they do crease. They're not meant for that. If you made something that was like a crease-free eyeshadow shade, it wouldn't work on the rest of your face. So the way that our story continues is that I was a fan of her channel for a really, really long time. Like a really, really long time. Like I was kind of a stan. And it was mainly because she changed the way that I looked at makeup, and she's also one of the funniest people on the internet. Like she'll make you laugh out loud watching her videos. So when I, always thought that I was way too uncool to like message somebody and try and be friends with them on the internet, she messaged me out of freaking nowhere, and was like, hey, do you want to go to a rap concert with me? And I was like, yeah. And if she had written, do you want to go to a rap concert? I would have said no. But she said with me, and I was like, yes, because I wanted to hang out with her. It was not my scene. We had a blast. She got to see me at my most vulnerable because I was having like a low-grade panic attack the entire time. It was just a lot of immersion for me, and I was staying up a lot later than I normally do and just basically firing on all of my like panic cylinders, and she was just having the time of her life. She was having so much fun, and I was having fun on her behalf, and she was having fun because I was obviously so uncomfortable. So that's Rose. I think we can do more. I know we can do more. Actually, let's go ahead and swatch, and then we can make some decisions, choices and decisions. No, that was my Westman Atelier. I need to clean this room up. Okay, here we go. So, I was wrong. I thought that I had coral in my palette. I had peach in my palette the whole time. So, this is rose, raspberry, wine, blackberry, peach, and coral. So you can see they follow cool, warm, basically. So there's like a cool, warm of every tone. So like rose and raspberry are like a cool and a warm call and response situation. Coral and peach are like a cool and warm call and response. And then blackberry and wine look very similar, but we have, you know, a cool and a warm. Wow, they're all so pretty. So the one that I have on my face right now is rose. The next one that I'm gonna go in with is, and what it's gonna do probably is just kind of like push me too far, and then I'm gonna have to dial it back, but you guys know that that's my process anyway. Gonna go in with wine. Dibbity dab that on the back of my hand a little bit. So, one of the biggest lessons I learned from the Storm Cloud paint from Glossier is that pale girls can wear deep berry tones. And as long as you kind of shear it out properly, it gives you, a little vintage khaki here, Nordic child running through the fjord vibes. Now, my husband did crap on my parade and told me that you can't run through fjords, apparently, but to him I say, not with that attitude you can't. So it gives you the natural flush, and I'm okay with it kind of going a little contrasty at first, because then we can take something like rose and kind of back out of it. And rose is going to be very similar to me to my PYT Cool Toned blush, the powder blush, that I use so often to, again, pull things back from that sort of like warm, over-pigmented edge. Okay, we're gonna go one more shade of awesome here, and I'm gonna go with peach, right pop oak color, Charlotte Tilbury style, Bobbi Brown style, however you want to think about it. And I already warned you guys that this was just gonna get like, I was just gonna put on every blush under the sun. I'm sure that there are plenty of you who were like, you should have stopped 10 minutes ago. I don't care. Does it look like I care? So I'm gonna go back in with the Chiarwise and just sort of blend everything again, because that's, you know, the beauty of an all cream look is you can just kind of play until you get the proportions that you like. And I'm stippling. So I'm not laying a whole bunch of product down. I'm more just kind of moving around what's there. Getting it a little further away from my nose, because when things are a little too close to my nose, it makes everything look like it's rushing towards the middle of my face, which is the last thing I need because all of my facial features are already rushing towards the middle of my face. Do we need a little more contour? Ooh, you thought I was gonna say blush, didn't you? Faked you out. Okay, the only thing I will say is keep these in a safe place if they don't have a palette. Like, I have more than will fit into a palette. You don't want these things just kind of like floating around because they are in zero waste packaging, and so they are just kind of open, you know? So when I'm not using these, I put these back into their little slips. You can kind of get a better idea of how much contour you can get away with once you have the rest of the pigment on your face too. But my God, I mean, it's just so easy. It's so easy. It's such just like an easy, pretty look. And even though I'm putting a lot of cream products on my face right now, you notice there's not like this really oily dewiness to it. Like I said, it's very weightless on the face, which is a refreshing change of pace. So the only other thing to do here now is to put the highlight on my face. And I have to say, beige is my fave. Be a little bit, I don't know, careful if you are like me and, you know, you can get away with some cool tones, but you are naturally like golden undertoned like I am. The pearl is like for porcelain skin tones, or if you want something silvery, but the pearl is very silvery, but the beige is like the perfect beige highlight. I mean, look at that. It is very comparable, I would say, to the Kosas. In tone value, it's the same highlight in every Kosas cream duo, and so I'm pretty accustomed to it, but it is not that soupy texture of the Kosas. It is way firmer, way easier to work with, and there is something to be said for all of these pigments being the same formula, because that formula is going to obviously like work well with its counterparts. And this being a very subtle highlight, it's a very like milky, creamy, natural glow. You can really just get carried away putting this stuff on. It's so, so beautiful. And it adds this like fresh dewiness to your skin, a dewy appearance, not like a dewy texture, without glitter, without too much pigmentation. Like, look at how that catches the light. I know I'm biased, but I'm also not that good at putting on makeup. So, I mean, I'm being totally honest here. It is so, so easy to work with. And especially for the people out there who are like, I don't want to have to buy 5 different Kosas compact to get to the color options that I want to play with on a regular basis. I want to be able to customize. I want to be able to build exactly what I know that I want. I want to be able to paint with all the colors of the wind. This is a very cost-effective and very low to no waste way to do so. I mean, she nailed it. And let's talk about ingredients here. So, ingredients wise, we have capryl triglyceride, dimethicone, zinc stearate, candelilla wax, grapeseed oil, jojoba seed oil, pomegranate seed oil, safflower seed oil, aloe extract, vitamin E, vitamin C, mica, kaolin, tin oxide, silica, and just and then just the pigmentation. So she steered clear of any kind of comedogenic oils. I personally really appreciate the little bit of dimethicone because it makes this dry down. I mean, I don't use the word settle. It doesn't settle anywhere, but it like chills. Is that the technical term? It chills on my skin. It moves with my face, and it allows I mean, I'm not a scientist, but like it feels like it allows those pigments to exist on your skin without a whole bunch of heavy carriers. It feels, I can't put a fine enough point on how light it is on my face. So, I feel so pretty. I feel so pretty. I like can't even tell you. I'm gonna put on some Boy Brow. I bought it in blonde. I wanna see what that's like because you guys saw me try and dial it back from the precipice by just using clear. And that was not the answer. I like having a power brow, but I needed something a little bit less severe than the brown, and so I ordered blonde. And I think it's just a touch warmer, a touch golder. What do you think? Is that good? Can we get used to that? I don't know. And then I also got the Glossier Brow Flick in brown instead of blonde. I did a little switcheroony, and I'm gonna use that as an eyeliner. Okay, final step here. What shade do I want to go with on my lips? We haven't played with raspberry yet, and raspberry is kind of right in the middle of all of the colors that I have on my face right now, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of light medium, the tan color, and just layer that a little. Make it a little bit nude. Yeah, I like that. How cool that you can mix and match your own lip color out of these. Yes. Tippity top this off real quick. So this is my final look, the easiest look on planet Earth. I could go nuts, even more nuts than I already did, putting on like, what, 3 or 4 different blushes and a different color on my lips. But all of these shades are so incredibly versatile. They don't have any kind of like ashy opacity to them or anything like that. You know, Kosas just came out with their like higher intensity blushes because they were running into that issue. Glossier has run into that issue in the past. This has that intelligence built in. These are shades that are going to flatter all skin tones. And I realized as I was putting this on, I was like, the person who initially convinced me unknowingly that I was beautiful enough to get away with wearing less makeup, regardless of the condition of my skin, regardless of my skin tone, regardless of my ability to afford really nice skincare or clear my acne or whatever, she taught me that I could wear just a lighter weight, more natural face of makeup, and that would actually make me feel more beautiful. That she put out a line of cream tints, it's kind of a match made in heaven. Like, it's almost like I'm just gonna take it as a personal love letter to me. Kiki, I know that this entire line was just for me. Love always, the undisputed greatest Aries in the world. Your friend Kiki. It's always about me. Anyway, so if I'm going to teach you how to pack a lunch here and you want advice on how to pick your 8, let's say, or maybe your 6, I'm not sure, I would definitely recommend to anyone this contour shade. It actually builds shadow on the face, if I haven't been emphatic about that enough already. I also think that finding the shade that works for you as a bronzer is the next kind of standard deviation from that, because you guys saw it just really brought my face together in a way that was like, oh, now I can create on top of this nice canvas because we've built the nice, you know, accentuated shadow and we've gotten a little bit of like sun on my face, and then I can kind of play with color. And then for me, these 4 blushes are the bomb. I kind of like think I'll probably use all of them, but Rose is an absolute, if you're my skin tone, do not miss. Between Blackberry and Wine, I would definitely say, like, you know, just kind of go on your undertones. Blackberry is going to be more cool toned, Wine is going to be more warm toned. Same goes for the Coral and the Peach. You know if you look good in this color. This is very comparable to Exhibit A from NARS. That is what I would compare this to. So all told, when you bundle, if you order 6 and the palette, I think it's like $85. If it's not already evident, I'm so proud of my girl, and I genuinely love these products. I love them. This is not a subtle beauty thing where it's like, oh, cute little pans of makeup, and it's, you know, it's so convenient. It's like, yeah, but the products don't perform. You know, like, it's fine, but it's kind of oily and they sort of phoned it in. I'm not saying it's bad, but this just blows it out of the water. This is just next level professional makeup, and honestly, at a steal. And it's so low impact on your brain and on the environment. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. If you have any additional questions about this that you think I can answer, make sure to leave them down below, or if you need help kind of navigating which colors you want to choose and things like that, ask me on Instagram, ask me down below. I will try to help. I don't have any kind of affiliate code on this. My recommendation comes with 0 strings attached down below. The only affiliate links I think I will have will be for like the other things that I used on my face, for like, you know, the Glossier and the Thrive mascara and stuff like that. So guys, thank you so much for watching today and for hanging out with me. I hope that this was helpful. If it was, do give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, guys, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. And thank you to Kiki for gifting me all of these products, even though I already bought a lot of them on pre-order. So maybe we'll do a giveaway. I don't know. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.